It's the Guitar Dads!
Welcome to the Guitar Dads Podcast, a podcast for guitar dads by guitar dads. This week, we're hanging in the garage and we're talking about an ego, and it ain't a wonker. Slash and Phil are on absolute fire. We try to go one episode without mentioning Joe Bonamassa. Whoops. And Dave gets a new guitar that he really can't play. We're vibing this week on the Guitar Dads Podcast. Now, two guys who own Gibsons and garages, Matt and Dave.
Hello, everybody. I'm Matt.
And I'm Dave, and welcome to the podcast. Another week, episode, 17? Welcome to it.
17. Great intro, Dave. They keep getting better, man.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I don't know
if anybody noticed.
I don't know if anybody notices.
I don't know if anybody noticed last week, but there was a little glitch there that happened. That we thought was fun. There was a little glitch. Yeah. We thought it was fun, so we put it in.
We thought we did think it was fun. Speaking of glitches, now that you're on your now that we're FaceTiming on your iPhone, you're all like frozen and like you look like what was that guy on Max Headroom on MTV?
Oh, Max Head. Oh, okay. Well, I can hear you. You can hear me though, right?
I can hear you. All
right, folks.
All right. So what do we? Let's thank our everybody that's watching on YouTube and thank you for listening anywhere you stream podcasts. Check us out on Instagram, Guitar Dads Pod, on Twitter, Guitar Dads Pod. Keep checking us out on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like it, all that stuff. You know what to do. We really appreciate you guys that are out there.
And thank you for your comments. We really appreciate it.
Yes, we love the comments.
Thank you for everything.
Yes.
Let's keep bringing the comments. So speaking of comments,
yeah,
we have our friend of the podcast down there in New Zealand, Justin. And
what's up, Justin? Thanks for listening, man.
Thanks for listening, dude. And he actually brought up some great topic ideas, which we're gonna get into.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get into it. So what do you want to, I think the first thing that, he actually wanted us to comment on, but we want to comment on as well. And the whole, I guess the guitar world is going a little bit insane over this, is the new John Mayer song that's out. So John Mayer hasn't released anything in 3 years. Now he's released a song.
4 years. 4 years.
Is it 4 years? Oh,
it is?
I
2017, I think. Yeah. It's been a while.
Okay. All right. So 4 years he hasn't released any new stuff. And he has released a song. It's called Last Train Home. And the guitar community is going a little insane, trying to get the tones, trying to do all this stuff. And did you see, I don't know if you follow Mary Spender, Dave, on YouTube. Do you know her?
I don't know. No,
she's a popular channel. Yeah, she's a very popular channel. It's a guitar channel. She's a singer-songwriter. She's fantastic, a British girl. She's great, and she actually is obsessed with John Mayer. And she heard like months ago. She heard like the first. He did like a tease on Instagram where he just released like the first like few bars of the song. Well, it's like it's like the first kind of half of a verse of the song, and she thought it would be fun if she would try to complete the song. So she recorded what she thinks the song what was going to be, and recorded a whole thing, and it was really good. Yeah, it was a cool vibe. Thing.
Yeah, he's such a tease though.
Yeah.
This is the ego we're talking about, right? We're not talking about the compressor by Wampler. Thanks, guys. We love the ego compressor.
We love the ego comp. I love it. But no. So she actually did this as like a lark, and it kind of went viral a little bit. And John Mayer saw it, and people really got a kick out of it. So then, last week the song actually comes out, and so check it out. If you haven't watched this, it's kind of fun. And then she's like, "Oh, let's see how close I got." She didn't get that close, but she did. I think she overall captured the vibe. So
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. But anyway, if you listen to the song, so there's a couple of things. If you watch a couple of things you have to watch. There's a video that he just released, like an official video, which is kind of like a live performance thing. And then he was on Jimmy Kimmel the other day.
Yeah, which is what Justin told us to watch. And I thought it was a really good performance.
What did you think, Dave? What do you think in general of the song and what's going on with Mayer these days?
All right. So here's my take on John Mayer. John Mayer, we love John Mayer. He's an amazing guitarist. He, all that stuff. We don't need to get into that. Yeah. He's kind of like, and he's a very like I don't know if eclectic is really the right word, right? But he tends to put out these, and again, I don't know if this is the right word either, but it's like these kind of like concept albums lately, where you know, and this is just his latest, in like it looks like it's like this 80s vibe kind of record. And if you look at the album cover, it looks like a CD from like Sam Goody or Newbury Comics. It's got that sticker on there that what is it, like Nice Price or something like that. Anyway, but it's like he's weird, right? And but I feel like I think he really thinks of himself as a musical genius, and whether you could argue that if you want, but so the song, I thought the song had a great groove. I thought it was hooky. It was hooky as shit.
It does.
It really was.
He's great at that stuff.
He's great at that stuff. I was just underwhelmed at what I would expect from John Mayer in terms of like guitar, right? Like I was looking for like a ripping solo on that, and he just kind of kept it kind of like smooth and easy, and which was good, but I was underwhelmed. What about you?
Well, let me tell you. So I think, to address your first point about like this kind of concept thing, I think you're absolutely right. I think, when you're at this level of an artist, when he probably doesn't need to release anything ever again, he's made gazillions of dollars, had so much success in his life, and now it really is truly like, where does he feel kind of, artistically, but that said, I agree with you that this is a pop song, right? And this could be a song you hear on the radio and that maybe kids pick up on TikTok and have a great time with, So I think even though like he, is kind of being as artistic and just letting his ideas flow, which I think he always has. I used to criticize when he first kind of came out. I kind of criticized him. I was like, because I knew him, and Dave and I knew him when he was doing like acoustic shows, like at smaller clubs. And then when we heard like the album come out, it's like, wait a minute, like this is very poppy. But and I kind of gave him a hard time even back then. This is like 20 years ago, where I was like, I think he's being too poppy. But but now I look back on that, I'm like, no, I think that's just what he was feeling, and that's what he wanted to do, and that's his sound. So, and I think that's what's going on here. This is what he wants to do with his sound, but he always has these pop, I hate to say pop sensibility, but that's
he does literally have a pop sensibility. It's exactly what it is. Yeah. But I will say this, as much as I kind of didn't sound like I was really loving the song, I think it's one of his better songs in recent years. So,
I agree with you. I'll tell you the truth. Like in the last 10 years, he's come out with some good. Like his last album, I liked quite a bit. But this album is called Sob Rock.
Yeah, it's a great name. It really is a great name.
It's actually perfect for him because he's always kind of sobby and whiny. Right? Yeah.
And it probably gives you an idea what's going to be on this record, right?
Yeah, what's going to be on the record? Yeah, I mean it's really cool.
But we should talk about the tone, though, because you're saying everybody's flipping out about the tone. I love the tone was amazing.
Oh yeah, his tone is great. And so the first thing I noticed when I put on Kimmel and when I watched the video, there's a pink silver sky.
Yes.
For those of you that aren't guitar nerds like us, guitar dads like us, the Silver Sky is the John Mayer guitar. It's a signature guitar he has with the guitar company called Paul Reed Smith. It just looks like a Stratocaster, but it's made by Paul Reed Smith. But and he's been releasing all these awesome colors, but I don't think he's released that pink, that kind of shell pink.
Yeah, it looks really cool though. I mean,
so it's like everybody were like, so that's the first thing everybody freaked out about. Like, wait a minute, how do we get this? How do we get the pink Silver Sky?
Right? Yeah.
But then I agree. Yes, so the tone is great. I really, a lot of people are saying, and I completely agree. And it's the first thing that popped into my head. 80s era Clapton.
Yeah, it's got that. Right? I don't know what he's using on it, but it's got that like 80s kind of like. Chorusy kind of bluesy.
There's a chorus on it.
Is it just a chorus? I mean, I don't know what he's using.
There's probably other stuff on it too, but there's definitely a chorus on it.
But it's got that great smooth like vibe to it. It was really awesome. Great. The tone is really great. But
the tone's great. Yeah.
I just wish in true John Mayer fashion that he just ripped a nasty solo right there, especially live. I thought he was just I don't know. I was just underwhelmed.
Yeah, even on Jimmy Kimmel, I thought he was going to go off a little bit. Yeah. I bet if you go to one of his concerts, he'll go off a little bit at the end there.
Yeah, I mean that's what he does though live.
But there's
right?
still some tasty licks at the end, which are really great. I mean, I gotta tell you the truth. I've been singing it all day. I played it, and then I went for a bike ride. I played it.
Yeah,
I played it on my way to the trailhead. And I'm just like singing.
Hooky.
I'm like, yeah. And then there's kind of two hooks to it, right? He's got like the first hook, which is like going on, waiting for the last train home, and then at the end it goes, I'm on the last train running. It's so catchy.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's so
and
hooky.
Surrender. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah, I listened to it. I listened to it today. After seeing Justin's comment, I was like, my first impression was like, okay, yeah, it was a good song, and then I just kind of put it away.
Yeah.
And then later on, I went back to it. I'm like, I want to hear it again. It's so hooky.
It's been running through my head all day. I'm like, damn you, John Mayer, you got me.
Yep.
But it's cool. But there's a lot of fun stuff going on YouTube. People are like putting guitar solos on it, Dave. If you want to hear some nasty guitar playing, you can watch some YouTube videos.
That's what I want to hear.
The Andertons. Rhett Shull actually I sent it to you. I don't know if you checked it out. Rhett Shull did a little jam along with it. You can check out Rhett Shull. He's a great player, and it was good little playing he's got there. And the Andertons guys, the Andertons guys are obsessed with Mayer. They did a whole video about trying to match the tone.
Oh, they've already done that? Wow. That was quick.
They've already done it. Yeah. So, obviously it's Mayer, the guitar.
Did they get it?
The guitar world kind of like totally worships him. So it's when he puts something out, it's kind of a big deal. And I like it. I think it's great.
Did they get the tone?
Yeah, they can't, it's Pete, Pete can play incredibly. Pete, Danish Pete, they got the Silver Skies out. Like the main feature of the tone was the what is it? The Waza chorus.
Which
it's
okay, yeah.
What is it called? The Dimension C chorus.
Okay, yeah.
It's a Dimension chorus, which is a different kind of spin on chorus. But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. I think I'm gonna play around with the chorus now too with my Strat, just to have some fun with this.
Influenced.
Have a little fun with this too, But yeah, we'll see. I'm really interested to hear the album. If it's along these lines, it could be a lot of fun. So I'm kind of
I think. It'll be good. It's definitely going to be good. I kind of yearn for that, like that old school Mayer though, like a continuum.
I was going to say you're talking about continuing, or even Battle Scars,
Battle Scars. Yeah. There was some great stuff on. There's some great stuff on that album, but but it's cool. Every artist has to kind of they have to evolve, and they always whatever's kind of floating through their creative mind at the time that's going to come out. So people respect that. Not every album is going to be a massive, even if you're a fan of a band or an artist, not everything they put out is going to be something that just blows you away.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it's the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the way.
But it'll be fun. I'll be interested to see the tones he's getting with the Silver Sky, and it's gonna be great. I can't wait till that album comes out.
Yeah, it'll be good. So, July 16th, right?
16th, yeah. So about a month from now, we're gonna be talking about it, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a review.
Don't worry, you'll hear from us. Maybe it's going to be a contender for Guitar Dad album of the year. We'll see.
Now, this is like a 6 degrees of separation kind of thing, but speaking of Jimi Hendrix...
speaking of Jimmy...
Did you see how I connected that continuum to the Jimi Hendrix to what we're going to talk about next?
Yeah. He did do Bold as Love. Was it on... when did he do
I don't know. I don't think he put it on continuum, but he was on...
But it was on one of the albums he put out.
But he played it a lot on that tour.
Yeah, no, he has it on one of the albums.
Is it on Continuum? I think it is.
Might be. I don't know. Someone's gonna have to Google this and do
I'll Google it while we chat. Yeah.
We're not gonna Google it now. But anyway, so you Google that and I'll chat it up. Another thing that our listener Justin had pointed out to us that for some, I don't know, it's a miracle, but I did not hear about this, and Justin called it out to us.
This is a miracle, by the way.
There was this version. There was this live performance, and I think it was like from some kind of live stream event, Dave. Is that what it was? I don't know why they did this, but it's Slash, Phil Collen, and these other... Who are the other guys?
It was Robert DeLeo, who's the bassist for STP, and
yes,
I hadn't heard. I don't know who the drummer is.
I don't know who the drummer. Anyway, so basically, it's Slash and Phil Collen from Def Leppard, right? And he and Phil Collins sings, and it's this ripping version of "Fire" by Jimi Hendrix. It incredible.
It's
Slash and Phil Collins trade solos, and like it's very Slash and it's very Phil Collins. It kind of blew me away when I saw it. I was like, this is like the answer to our dreams.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It
a
really
Phil Collins Slash collab in a Hendrix tune. Like what are we doing here?
Yeah, it was just really cool to. I mean, and plus like I just been in such a good mood in terms of what's coming out with music now, because with things getting better with the pandemic, and looking forward to seeing shows and artists coming out with everything they've been kind of like keeping to themselves during the pandemic, and it's going to be a really exciting year for music, right?
Yeah. And this
kind of collaboration is just so cool to see. Did you figure out what it was from though? We never.
No, I didn't. I didn't figure out what it was from, but it was some like live event that they were doing. Obviously it was like a pre-recorded thing, but it was really cool. It was like I clicked on it. I was like, this is like a guitar dad. This is like made for the guitar dads.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
It's so good. So anyway, if you guys haven't watched that, go check it out. Just type in / Phil Collins Fire, and it is really awesome. Not Phil Collins now. Not Phil Collins. There's no.
Although you'll come up with some really good music. Yeah, you'll come up with some really good music there too. But
let me stand next to your fire, studio.
No, this is Phil Collins, the lead guitarist for Def Leppard.
But I always have to make that joke.
You always have to make that joke.
And Dave, I also wanted to make a comment about this. Remember last week's podcast, you're like, oh, even Phil Collins said he let himself go during the pandemic. Did you see him? Well, I will give you this. He did have a shirt on. It was like barely a shirt. He had a shirt, yes. Top.
Yeah. It was, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was like a gold gym. It was like a gold gym muscle shirt, but it was a shirt.
Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't like, bench pressing while Slash was going off on his gold top. I mean, it was like like, hey, Phil, don't waste time. Go over there and put some weights up.
But I don't think he let himself go, to your
point. No, but to his standards, he said he did. Yeah.
He looked good to me. I mean, he wasn't all oiled up like he is on the
Are you saying you like to see Phil Collins oiled up?
Yeah, I know this is getting weird. He wasn't all oiled up, but he's still, I think he's still got the physique. So, good for Phil. But speaking of someone who doesn't have a physique, we're just getting into it tonight, folks.
We're just rolling tonight, man.
Are we talking something about Vince Neil? Dude.
I want to circle back to what we talked about last week, because after we talked about it, I kind of had this curiosity about how the whole thing really happened in terms, because if you missed last week's episode, we were talking about Vince Neil, in kind of preparation for the big stadium tour before it was canceled. He was going out doing some solo gigs, and he was on stage with his first gig, and his voice just kinked out. He couldn't do it. He admitted he couldn't do it, told that to the audience. He kind of got I don't know if he got really booed off stage. But
no, he didn't. He just ended the show early.
Yeah. He just kind of, but here's my theory. I was kind of thinking about it, and I did a little bit of Googling around, and who knows about internet rumors and all that stuff. But I wonder if he kind of knew that his voice just wasn't going to hold up this year, whether he put in the work or not during the pandemic. I wonder if it was him that kind of canceled the tour, because to cancel the tour and blame COVID when GNR is going out. All these other big tours are going out in 21, right? So why did they cancel it? I just wonder if he knew that he couldn't do it.
Wow. That's really interesting, Dave. I mean, it could be. I think it was all the uncertainty around COVID was the main thing, but maybe that was like a secondary thing where they were like, you know what? It's too much uncertainty. We can't, because I mean, I think honestly, they can't afford to really lose a bunch of dates because of COVID. So I think that is still the main reason. But it could be they were like, look, there's uncertainty around COVID and Vince is a effing disaster. So we can't do this tour. It could be, Dave. It could be. I think it's a very good insight. It could be that that's what happened too. But back to my point that I said last week, I don't know how this guy is going to do a tour unless he severely turns his life around. Right?
No, I don't think he makes it more than a few shows.
He needs Tom Brady to go and train him or something.
Yeah, he needs a lot of avocado ice cream.
He needs Tom. He needs Tom and Giselle and Bill Belichick.
Hey, Vince, if you're listening, put down the Ben and Jerry's and go to the avocado ice cream, okay?
Go to the avocado, please, for all of our sakes for the tour.
Because you become a laughingstock online, like with all the memes that are in existence.
Yeah, I mean, the guy, like I said, the guy's been a meme for a while now. It's very disappointing, right?
It is really disappointing.
I listened to Motley Crue. I heard them today, and I was like, they were so good, like, ugh. A lot of people say, like, he never sounded good. I think he had his moments where he sounded good back in the day.
He had his moments way back in the day. And then when they had their second coming back in, like, that, what was it? It must have been when we were in high school, right? I remember they had, like,
late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, like early mid-90s, right?
It was more like, we were up in college at that point, but yeah.
Yeah, like they kind of were making a big comeback, and he sounded pretty decent then, but not like back in the day. So, but I agree. I don't think this tour. I think if the tour does happen, which it probably will, I think it's going to be, and we talked about this last week, it's going to be a bit of a disaster, but doors are opening on this thing at like 4:00, and there's a bunch of acts.
It's going to be a party. Do people
are
really
going to be
care?
Just like happy to be doing anything.
Yeah. Do people really care in the end?
No.
Who knows?
No.
So anyway, we don't want to dwell on Vince too long, but he's taking it up of this podcast.
No, maybe Vince should be practicing in his garage for a little while, prep his voice. And speaking of garage, these transitions are just getting bad.
They're getting so good. I love them. Yeah. So the Gibson. So Gibson, that we're like, because we're guitar dads, we're hardcore Gibson fans, right? We all have multiple Gibsons. Actually, I don't know if Dave has multiple Gibsons, but he should.
I don't. I have one Gibson. What's up, JC?
He should. JC Curley. Yeah, he should. You should have multiple Gibsons. Anyway, so Gibson has launched this thing, which was a Mark Agnesi thing, and he launched the Gibson Garage, which is essentially like this, grand showroom in Nashville, in downtown Nashville, and it has all kinds of cool stuff. If you want to go check out the YouTube thing that, like, the launch that Mark Agnesi did, and he gives you a tour of it, and it's really cool. And they got every last guitar in there, and a whole Epiphone section, a Kramer section, of course, a custom shop. And they also have a thing in the garage. It's not a garage. It's like a store. It's like going into a guitar store. Like, let's just be honest about what it is.
An actual garage.
But there's a performance stage there. There's almost like a venue there, which is cool.
Yeah.
And then there's like a custom area where you can make, if like you really want to order a custom guitar, you can do it there in person, and they'll show you the woods, and they have all the parts in cases, and you can pick out your parts. Like, you can do have a whole custom experience. I can only imagine what that would cost. But
well, you're going to be going down to Nashville in what, September?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Nashville in September for a little.
You will definitely have to take some video of this and check it out for us, so we can all live vicariously through you.
It's going to be really cool, yeah. And then the other thing that they do is they have, like, it's also the place where they're going to, like, schmooze up their artists. So, like, if you watch the video, like, the thing that the public won't see is this, like, whole, like, artist lounge, which just looks incredible. It's just so cool looking. And then there's, like, a vault, like a hidden vault that has, like, all the original Gibson guitars. It has, like, the original 59 Les Paul, the original Carina V, like 335, like every other major guitars. It has, like, the original, most holy grail one. They have it all there. So it's pretty cool. I don't know what they did, if they stole them all from Joe Bonamassa or what they did. Oh, we couldn't mention Joe Bonamassa.
It's like the Joe Bonamassa garage is essentially what it is.
He probably lives next to it. It's probably like in the building he lives in, and he lives upstairs.
Yeah, it's right there.
But did you see this? What do you think?
I'm gonna ask you a question now, just to kind of put it on record. We're gonna put it out there. It is what's today? June 10th, and you're going in September. Are you coming home with another guitar?
It depends what's there and what I'm feeling.
Oh, come on.
Maybe not. We will find out.
No, we need an answer today. We need one right now.
To tell you the truth, like, I don't have a lot of lust for any more Gibson guitars right now. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually true. I just don't have any gas for Gibson. I mean, look, I still have gas for that incredible Emily Wolf signature Epiphone. That's cool. And if that's there in person, I could be very tempted. So that's something I would tell you. But am I going to go there and buy like a custom shop Les Paul? Like, I don't know. I've played a few custom shops when I went to Chicago, and I didn't find them incredibly better than my Les Pauls that I have at home. Not like, $3,000, $4,000 more than the ones I have at home. So that's a whole other discussion, but I don't think that it's necessarily worth it. A lot of people say like, you're crazy, the standards aren't as good, but I love my standard in particular. So, that's what it is.
All right. I'm going to make a bold prediction, and this is a hot take. I think you're going to be so enveloped in the whole scene and how cool it is in there that you're not going to be able to walk out of there without something.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to buy like 20 T-shirts.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking a guitar. I'm talking guitars.
Yeah, guitars. Yeah.
I can't see you. I can't see you leaving there without something. I really can't.
Okay, you're probably right, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go on an. But here's another thing. I'm going to go on. You heard it here first. I'm going to go on a rant about this for a second. So
can I take a break?
The thing that's disappointing about this Gibson Garage is, as you guys all know, Gibson acquired the amp company. What is it? Mesa Boogie. They acquired Mesa. So, of course, the Gibson Garage is laid out with all kinds of Mesa amps. And it's like, it's a Gibson Garage. There needs to be a Marshall amp somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, you did say this to me earlier
This
today.
Is like having a room of peanut butter and no jelly.
Who has a room of peanut butter?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a
good point. It's a very good point, because I think you bring up a very strong point. Like when you think of a Gibson, you kind of equate in terms of like its connection to the
not
sound.
Everybody does, but yes.
Yeah, it's connected to Marshall, right? So
you're totally right.
Yeah, it's like I agree with you, but I guess I mean, you'll see it for yourself when you're there. Maybe they do that. It's not showing you everything online. But
yeah.
It's a valid point. It's
like if I'm gonna buy a Gibson, I want to plug it into something that at least sounds like a Marshall, like a Friedman. Something cool like that.
I'm sure they have some room where like, don't tell anybody, but we got Marshalls.
Yeah, don't tell anybody. We got a. If you want to buy this $10,000 Murphy Lab guitar, and you want to plug it into a Marshall, we'll take you into a room and let you plug into a Marshall. We just won't show it on the internet because it's Mesa. I did notice.
And you're going to sign like some like non-disclosure thing.
Yeah.
Like,
you know what's funny though? You know that I don't know if you follow Cesar. I can't pronounce his last name. Cesar Garakin. He's like the head of.
Is he the guy that was training all the dogs?
No. He's the guy. He's basically like the head of marketing at Gibson, and he has a cool Instagram account because he has an amazing personal collection of guitars. And he obviously has like this cool house, and he has a room with like all his guitars and amps. And it used to be on Instagram, you saw him playing on his Marshalls and you saw his stacks of Marshalls. Now, not surprisingly, you see all of Mesas. And you're like, oh, well, this is disappointing. But I mean, I'm not anti-Mesa. Like, I think the sound is cool, but obviously Marshall is where it's at for me. But Mesa's cool. I'm sure there's some Mesas that do that Marshall-y thing too. So, whatever. But that's my rant on the Gibson Garage.
Well, that was awkward. They're good.
But Dave, did you get a chance to watch the they did a big launch show last night on YouTube. It was like an hour and a half long. I didn't watch all of it, but I caught some of the performances from some artists that we should
it was I did I love for reference for anybody else out there that does YouTube videos, I love timestamps. So it was great to be able to kind of click through what I wanted to see.
Exactly.
What are you pouring there?
I just poured a little Pinot. It's
Pinot.
Podcast. It's podcast night. I drink Pinot. Are you still
speaking
drinking?
Speaking of Mayor, Pino Palladino. Are we talking? All right, never mind. We're not talking the trio, right?
Oh yeah, Pino Palladino, John Mayer's bassist. Yeah, he's great.
Has nothing to do with wine. It has everything to do with bass. I did check out, and I'll tell you, I I was a little bit. What did you think? Did you think you were kind of like? I guess what I was really hoping for was just more full band performances. But
yes,
some of the solo stuff was pretty good. And I'll tell you what I really like, because we on the Guitar Dads here, we are giant Hailstorm fans. I really like the acoustic stuff that Hailstorm did with Lizzie and.
I didn't catch it. And Joe.
You didn't catch it? Oh yeah, no, they did a couple tunes. I think they did Amen, and they did I forget the name of the song. But I mean,
okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely got to check it out. As always, Lizzie is amazing with vocals. She just hits it every time.
She really does.
She doesn't miss. And so, and to me, like that's what really made a lot of these acoustic performances pretty good. I really liked the Jared James Nichols stuff, especially Jared James Nichols with Joe Bonamassa when they did a Creed.
I missed all this stuff.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna watch. So after this podcast, I'm turning this on, and
you didn't watch this before?
No, I honestly, last night it popped up last night. I was going to bed. I watched Emily Wolf, who was incredible. By the way, she's incredible. And I got to listen to more of her, and she's going to become like a super Guitar Dads artist because she's awesome.
I'll tell you speaking of, who else was on there was, although it was acoustic, but still really good, was Orianthi.
Oh, I didn't see her, but I caught Samantha Fish.
Samantha Fish, very good also. I think she did something solo, but I think she was playing a Firebird.
She was playing a Firebird. It was really cool. It was really cool. Yeah. She's great. I love her. She's so good. She's so good.
She's so good.
She's great. We've actually shouted her out in the podcast before. But yeah, and there was a big announcement last night, actually, Dave. I don't know if you caught this. Jared James Nichols has been made, I guess, promoted to an official Gibson brand ambassador.
Ooh,
there's only a few guys. There's only a few people who are brand ambassadors. One of whom is Slash. And the other the other one who was recently named a brand ambassador at Gibson is Dave Mustaine. Right. So Jared James. So this is why this is amazing. Jared James Nichols, who, is this guy as iconic as Slash and Dave? What's his name? No. But he's such an amazing guitar player, and he has so much passion for Gibson.
Oh, he's amazing.
And I think this is I want to say this is an amazing move by them. To make him like a brand ambassador and have him at all the events and have him do the stuff. And maybe we're going to get more Jared James Nichols signature guitars. Like he's mainly been an Epiphone artist, right? He's released it's called the Black Glory and now the Gold Glory.
Now, if you're not familiar with him, check him out. He is an incredible guitarist. Incredible.
It's definitely blues.
Oh, yeah.
It is. This guy, he just brings it. Like he has so much energy and power. He is so good, and he has so much like soul in his playing. He's incredible. I mean,
it was really cool to see Bonamassa and him on the same stage, and just kind of.
I got to watch this. Yeah,
it was almost. I mean, just what I took from it was just. Almost not Joe was like, you could tell Joe knew who he was playing with, and here he is watching this. Like, I mean, both of them are incredible guitarists, but just the two of them just kind of like trading off with the vocals and with playing and soloing. It was just like this. It was just one of those kind of like it kind of was like it was kind of cool to watch that Slash and Phil Collins thing today, and then kind of go watch this thing.
Oh, that's awesome!
And see the two of them play.
Was it with a full band?
It was the full band. I think it was he was one of the only artists, I think, because I didn't watch everything, but I think he was one of the only artists with a full band.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I know Emily Wolf had a band with her. But it was like, it was cool. Like they started like at the different, the different Gibson showrooms around the country. Like I think she was in Austin and then some guy was somewhere else, like in New York or something. Anyway, but it was cool. So it's definitely a cool thing. I'm going to have to go watch, use the timestamps and watch the rest of it. Cause I was going in chronological order, just like fast forwarding over the people I didn't care about. Like,
use these acoustic, man.
Like these acoustic people. I'm like, man, what is this?
Yeah, it was definitely a good mix, and it was interesting just to see some other Gibson artists that you hadn't really heard of either too.
Yep.
So it was good. definitely check it out.
Well, it's a plethora of new gear there. Speaking of new gear.
Are we moving on to this now?
Let's go
on to our Tone Deaf segment, which is, for those of you who don't know, Tone Deaf is a segment for the guitar dad or mom who we all crave gear. We all crave something. It's, we all have the gas. Everybody knows what gas is.
Gotta have the gas.
Gear acquisition syndrome. And this is a segment that we do sometimes that we basically highlight what does the guitar dad or mom need to do to purchase new gear and get the approval from their significant other, their husband, their wife, whatever. And are there consequences to those purchases and those kinds of things. But that's what we talk about.
And what Dave had to do is lay down a bunch of mulch in his house.
Yes. No, well, let's go back on the story. So I ordered several months ago. We talked about this on the podcast. I ordered a Fender Player Strat, and I forget the color, but it was beautiful, and I really liked it. It had a maple neck.
It was like a flamey maple top.
Yeah, it was a flamey. Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was cool. It's like not sunburst. It was like a brighter burst thing.
Yeah, I was like, I forget what it was, but I kept getting the notifications that it was shipped and it was coming, and I kept looking out for it, and I kept seeing the updates and the shipping, which we all do, right? We all get excited.
Oh, of course, that's torture.
And then suddenly, the shipping progression just stopped.
Yeah,
and nothing showed up. And I called the company, and I won't call them out here because we already did. And and it turns out
we have no shame.
We have no shame, and it wasn't available.
Ugh.
So I guess the guy, so he had clicked, he had put through the sale and didn't realize that they didn't actually have one in stock. So it created this whole shipping thing. How it showed up that it was coming through the pipeline, I have no idea. But anyway, so that never showed up. And so just kind of looking at that again, it's still not in stock, and I can't find it anywhere. So I said, you know what? I'm going to look at a Classic Vibe. And I'm going to look at the 50's Strat. Matt really loves his telly. And so I'm going to trust that, and I'm going to look at the. So I ordered and have gotten now a Squier Classic Vibe 50 Strat, and the only color that you should get a Strat in is two-tone burst.
Two-tone sunburst.
Two-tone sunburst.
Dave, how's the 50's neck? Is the 50's neck a little chunkier?
You know what? I don't.
Or is it just the same?
I compared to what?
The 60's neck.
I haven't felt the 60's neck, so it's supposedly supposed to be a little chunkier. But
does it feel chunky to you? Or I don't think the Strats were ever chunky
to me.
Okay.
You know what? The funny thing is, nothing feels chunky to me. And you said this to me when I bought my Les Paul traditional. That no neck was ever going to feel chunky compared to that thing, and I was going to get used to it, and I have. So no, it doesn't feel. It feels good.
Yeah, but that's not a chunky neck that you have. That's more.
It's not a chunky neck.
It's more of a traditional 60's neck that you have on that thing.
Yeah, but it's still it's chunkier than any kind of strap.
It's chunkier than my slim taper neck on my standard.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway.
However, I can't even. So, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this splint on my hand.
Oh.
I have. This is the guitar dad, the aging guitar dad.
Yeah.
The injuries. I have a raging tendonitis in my wrist, and I'm not playing guitar this week. So I did start filming a video to show you guys this guitar, and I was gonna do a tone comparison. I was going to go through all 5 positions and that whole thing. And I just started playing and realized that I was just my wrist just started to hurt, so I didn't do it. So, but it is coming soon.
What a bummer.
So I will take care of my wrist, and I can't even play guitar this week.
Oh, Dave, I'm sorry for you, man. But you're right. This is the aging guitar dad.
This is the aging guitar dad, right?
I know. Well, it's what it is, You'll get over it. But
that's why I poured a couple extra fingers of my whiskey tonight.
But what were your other first impressions? I mean, you did play it you had it in your hands. What were
your first impressions? So I did play it briefly. I'll tell you what. The thing, it sounds amazing.
Nice.
For the price, for what you're paying, and I was able to get the 15% from Guitar Center, and that's why I bought it from them.
Oh, nice.
For, what did it come to with the 15%? It was like for like 370.
I was gonna say under 4. Yeah,
under 4. It's an amazing guitar. It feels great. Yeah. It plays great.
That's let's just say like that. We are in this amazing age. I mean, you can buy, like, that's what the Telly cost. The Telly, I think I got like 15% off, and it was like I think it was right under 400. And it's like $400 for this quality of an instrument. It's like, this is insane, you know? Like,
yeah, I mean, it didn't have. I did a quick check over it. It didn't have any like blemishes. It didn't have any. You know, it didn't have that cheaper guitar kind of. There was nothing that indicated that it was a cheaper guitar, right?
Yeah.
You know, the action was great. The neck was set well. It wasn't I mean, it had, you know, it's got like some of the hardware, like the tuners and nothing fantastic, but the pickups sound great. And these are the newer, like the newer, like the new Alnico pickups that the Fenders put on these Squiers, right?
Yeah.
And they sound great.
That's
so,
great.
And it really didn't need any kind of adjustments out of the box. I mean, I might do a bit of a truss rod adjustment, a tiny bit. I might, as I play around with it, I might have
just little setup stuff.
Yeah, a little setup stuff. Might have to change some of the pickup height and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it sounded, even, I don't know what strings they put on the thing, but even in that, those sounded pretty good. But yeah, because of my wrist, I just haven't played it, so I can't tell you a whole lot about it.
There's 9s on it, right? I think all
believe there's
Fender stuff and Squier stuff comes with 9s. I thought the 9s on my Strat I haven't changed. I got my Strat in November. I haven't changed the strings.
You haven't?
No, I haven't even changed them because they still feel good. So,
hey,
but they're 9s, and I think I will keep the 9s on. Usually I play 10s on everything, but I wonder because I think there's like a maybe inch. There's an inch, or I don't even think it's a full inch. I think it's like a 3/4 of an inch of a difference in the scale length between the Les Paul and the Strat.
Yeah, I don't think it's a full inch.
It's like a. I think it's 3/4 of an inch's difference. Is that enough to make the tension that much higher, so that 9s make it feel a little bit better than 9s on I never liked 9s on a Les Paul, but for some reason I love the 9s on the Strat. So
yeah, but everybody say that you should be playing 9s on a Strat, right? And I mean, plus that just gives you that
not everybody says that. No,
not everybody.
I mean, Rick Beato says it, but you know,
well,
he says a lot of things I don't understand.
But so hopefully one of these days, hopefully one of these days I can give you guys a better review once my wrist feels better.
You'll keep playing it. You're good. You'll keep going.
I'll keep playing it.
I think you'll get over it. You know.
I sent you that. I tried to send you a bit of a loop that I put together and was trying to play,
which sounded good.
It sounded okay. My wrist was killing me at that point, and I was a couple of whiskeys in, so you know,
whiskeys in.
It was fun, but it was you know.
But the Squier Classic Vibes are so good. I mean,
you know what?
I didn't think they were good. I really didn't have high expectations for the Telly I have, and I was. That's why, like, I think I told you, Dave. I'm like, just get the Classic Vibe and end it.
Yeah, you convinced me, so that's why I did it. Plus, it was available, so I said, you know what? Add to cart. Let's go.
It's an interesting thing when you think about, like, is there a huge difference between the Player series and the Squier Classic Vibe series? I don't know.
I bet not.
I think the difference is literally in where it's made, right? Mexico versus, you know, in Asia.
Right.
I don't know where they make them, if Korea or if it's China or somewhere else, but
I think
China.
it is.
I think
it is China. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell you right now. I could go look at it, but I think you're right, and I think when you're talking about that level of guitar, I don't think you're getting much more for the Mexican, right?
Yeah, so, and players are great. Let's just be clear, they're amazing guitars, but like, you know, you're at almost twice the price.
You're almost twice the price. I think you're getting some other color options, which is what really attracted me to that other player. But yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
I think this Telly is every bit as giggable as my other guitars. I'm sorry to say.
That's impressive.
You know, it is. It stays in tune. It sounds good. I don't really have a need for it in what my band is doing. I mean, maybe I could just bring it just for gigs. But it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, no, well, now that you're going to start doing some gigs, you should.
Yeah,
bring
now
it
that
out
the
and let's
gigs
see
are
how it
happening, maybe I'll bust it out. But I actually on that note, I really like. I've basically switched for my main guitar with the band to the Strat. I'm really happy. I'm really happy the Strat has the humbucker and the bridge. If it didn't have a humbucker and the bridge, I would not be happy with it as my only band guitar because we run the gamut. We're like a dancey band. We'll do like, clean. We'll do a lot of dancey stuff where I have to play clean, and then we'll do some rock and roll where we got to get into it. So
yeah, anyway, you need a humbucker. Yeah.
So you need a humbucker, right? So, but I'll tell you what, to be able to go up to the bridge and play really nice cleans, and then go down into the to go into the neck and play really nice cleans with the Strat, and then go down to the humbucker and the Strat. Like and the humbucker sounds good. It's a good combo. So you'll hear it eventually, Dave, when the gigs start up. But
Yeah,
anyway.
and you can definitely, for those of you out there checking us out on YouTube, look forward to some new videos coming out, and maybe to hear that particular Strat.
Yes, maybe you will hear it sometime.
And then what? People should check us out on Instagram, right? At Guitar Dads Pod.
Check Instagram.
Anywhere you stream us. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of our listeners and subscribers, and please subscribe. Really helps us out. And
leave comments, please.
We love the comments. Hey, Justin, send us some more comments, man. We loved those recommendations. So we definitely. More like that. That was awesome.
As you guys can tell, when people send us topic ideas or comments and stuff like that, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
We're here for you.
It's really going to help drive. It's really going to help drive this channel in podcasts. So we're really looking forward to what the future brings.
Exactly. Thank you for listening. And that's this week's Guitar Dad Pod. Is it, Dave? Is that this week's podcast?
I think that is this week's Guitar Dads podcast.
Catch you guys on the flip.